What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel, and today we're going to be showing you guys what's going on in Minnesota when it comes to governor and the Republican primary. You won't believe who's on top of that list of who is going to be the nominee there, and I'm hoping he wins.
We'd appreciate if you'd subscribe, like, and share. It costs nothing, and it's a huge boost to the channel.
All right, guys, in this video, Steve Bannon's going to be interviewing the guy who's in the lead for the primary of the Republican Party in Minnesota. And I think you're going to be like me and Romeo, excited about who this guy is. Let's go ahead and check out the video.
Dell, I've been spending the afternoon going through polling data for the governorship of Minnesota, the Republican primary. Oh, my Lord. Brother, you have represented. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's this one came out today, everybody, and this is like 9 days before the GOP convention, where everybody's trying to get the GOP endorsement, but I'm not going to abide by that, so they haven't let me go to the debates. The media in Minnesota has kept me out of the news, and in spite of all that, here I am, #1 in the polls, and with the president's endorsement, if I get that, then I'm up by 22. So there's only one pathway, I really believe, of winning Minnesota, and it's through me. I have a great plan to win. We got 26,000 yard signs we're putting out. The plan of doing rallies and events in every Senate district, just like the president did in the country, which I went to over 130 of his rallies, helping him campaign. So we're doing the same format, Steve, but it's working. These were the actual polls from people in Minnesota, of all voters. So I'm not going to go just like when I ran for RNC chair. Everybody, the polls the night before, I doubled Harmeet Dillon and Ronna McDaniel combined, and then the next day I get 4 votes. So this time around, I'm not going to do that. I want the people to vote in the primary, and that's where I'm leading all the polls. So it's a great day.
We'll promulgate these. As impressive. You're winning.
Now, guys, a lot of people call Mike Lindell a nut job. He's crazy. He's so on and so forth. Now, the Democrats, what they focus on is what he thinks about elections and how the 2020 election was stolen. So they call him a election denier. You know what I call him? I call him a patriot. He is someone that needs to become the governor of Minnesota. You want to clean Minnesota up, Minnesota? Elect him as governor, and he'll clean that state up. And there will not be this fraud that you're seeing and being propagated by the Democrat Party. This is what we need. We need people like this. We need people like this running over there in California to win in these states so they can reform them and get them back on track. And I'm hoping this happens. We'll see what happens. But guys, he needs your support. That means you need to go out there and vote in the primary and go out there and donate to him. If you live out of the state, guys, donate a couple of dollars if you got it. You know, try to help him out as much as possible. He is someone I'd love to see get into politics, and I think he'd be successful at it.
Yeah, and for the very same reason the Democrats hate him, we love him. He is a patriot. When the 2020 election was stolen, he was one of a very few people that rallied to the president, that tried to tell the president to use the Insurrection Act. Now, I'm not debating whether that would have been the right move. But what I'm saying is he is a patriot through and through. He will do what's right for Minnesota. You won't see all of the graft and the fraud under a Lindell administration. And that's what's important here.
By a couple of points without President Trump, and you're winning by 30 or 40 points with President Trump. So hopefully that'll work out. I know you're not going to go to take the convention because you don't want to lock yourself in. I wanted to talk about the product. One last thing I want to say about Tulsi is that Mike Lindell spent all these years, everything fighting this. They tried to put his company in bankruptcy. Tulsi Gabbard had the stones as DNI to go to Atlanta and say, hey, this is a national security problem. What's happened with these stolen elections. This is the central national security problem. And she's the one who's put out all this information about the Chinese Communist Party. This woman has been a rock in this movement. She has stepped into the breach. As you know, Mike, they tried to destroy you, send you to jail, FBI taking your phone, bankrupt. Mike Lindell. So Tulsi Gabbard, we owe her that. We owe her a lot. Mike Lindell, with all that behind us, and now you've represented the polls from a third party. This is not an internal poll. This
All right, guys, I want to talk about what he said about Tulsi Gabbard. I completely agree with him on Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard, I think, did a great job in DNI. She did a great job releasing the stuff that needed to be released to tell the truth about what happened to Trump throughout his first term, all the way to before he got into his second term, and what the Democrats and the deep state tried to do to him. And putting that stuff out was really important to actually show how bad the Democrats and the deep state is. That's the reason the Democrats aren't getting any kind of play when it comes to popularity contest. The popularity contest for them is around 19%. Now, Republicans aren't much higher. They're around 30, 35, 40%. So what's going to win this in the midterms? You going out there to vote. That's what will win this. And also, the other thing also I want to remind you is when it comes to the people that are already in office now in the House and Senate, their popularity is actually lower than Democrats. It's 13%. And I completely understand it's because this has been a do-nothing Congress, but I know, and it's been run by the Republicans, but guys, you got to give them another chance. I'm hoping they'll go in there and do something better. We'll see what happens. I don't think this should be I don't think the only reason you should vote for them is because to stop the Democrats from impeaching Trump. I'm not worried about that. I think you should do this. Hopefully they'll learn from what happened in the last term and they'll actually get things done the American people need.
Remember why Tulsi is leaving office too. I mean, her husband has bone cancer. So it's not like she had some big fallout with the president. She's got personal stuff going on and she wants to be there for her husband. I think that's a good reason to tap out. Unfortunately for us, I don't know that she's, replaceable. Of course, everyone's replaceable, but offhand, I can't think of anyone who will do the job like she did. I hope that Mike Lindell becomes the governor of Minnesota because I believe that he'll do the job. And that's what's important. Look, this is a guy who was in hotel rooms doing drugs and completely remade himself, went clean and sober, and has built a tremendous company. He has been there for America through, some of the hardest times that we've seen as far as, having a president who wasn't duly elected, sworn in, Joe Biden, and he fought against that. This guy has never stopped fighting for what's right. And I totally endorse him and support him.
Yeah, I agree with you. Here's the thing with Mike Lindell. I've been to 3 of Trump's rallies. I've been to one in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and North Carolina. And he was at all 3. You see him, he was very personable. He'll go out in the crowd and talk to you, shake your hand, stuff like that. He already has meet and greet down when it comes to politics. I think he has everything you need, everything you would want in a politician. And I think he's perfect to actually become the governor of Minnesota. I wouldn't even mind at one time or another in the future him running for president. This might be an open door for him. Let's wait and see.
Yeah, I agree. He's to be trusted. He's proved himself to be a faithful patriot, and so that goes a long way.
All right, guys, this is the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed. Please hit that like button, comment, and share this out to everybody.
Thanks for being here.